You know what? Ghasts are one of those really interesting things in Minecraft that I've just never played around with. They're very, very interesting. I mean, look at this. With just simple bricks, what we've been able to achieve is basically a Ghast powered and Ghast controllable cannon, pretty much. And if we have a look behind here, it's quite simple. All that we have is a very simple cage around the Ghast, and we've gone down about, I think it's about 6 or 7 blocks. And then we've just got our little platform to control basically which way we fire, and it works wonderfully. The reason why this works is because Ghasts can't actually fire directly underneath themselves. And because of that, because there's only a certain limit that they can shoot downwards, it means that we can basically fire this cannon and control where it goes. And it's wonderful. Look at this. I can just do this all day and not even worry about getting hurt or injured or anything like that. My Ghast friend is absolutely fine and we are doing well. However, there is something that I am thinking about. You see, one of the things that I don't exactly like very much in Minecraft is glitches, and I don't like relying on glitches. They ruin the game, they ruin the magic and the fun. That's one of my big problems that I have against Java, is that it's a wonderful game, I love it like nothing else, but the TNT glitch, it just ruins things a bit. Having a dispenser that you can move around and push and basically have on top of flying machines makes the game so much better. And the TNT duplicating glitches, you know, they kind of ruin the fun a lot. So what I want to see if it's possible today, and I get the sneaking suspicion that it is I want to see if we can make a gas-powered concrete converter. So the idea of this should be fairly simple. All that we have to do is take our Ghast here, that is, how many blocks above us is he? So it's basically 2 or 3 blocks out, and we've got it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks below him. The biggest problem with this is going to be capturing a Ghast. That's foreseeable, that's going to be quite a bit of an issue. But once you get over that small problem, then the next thing is basically you can have unlimited amounts of block breaking, which is exactly what we need for a concrete converter. So the very next thing that we are going to need is we need to have the ability to find out where we need to put this actual concrete converter itself. So we're just going to do a little bit of testing here and see where this actually will hit if we put some concrete out in front of us. It should be around about this area, and if we switch back very quickly into survival mode, then we should be able to see where this hits. Okay, well it hit me. Well that didn't work at all. Okay, maybe we need this a couple levels down. This seems to be rather close to me and it's not working too well. Okay, so we've got it another 6 blocks below where we are at the moment. And yeah, you can see quite easily that it does go down there. It does destroy blocks, which is exactly what we do need. And I've just thought of one other thing though, is that if I move inwards more, it actually hits closer, doesn't it? If I move outwards more, does it hit further away? Yeah, it does. I can even control the distance that it actually hits. That's pretty interesting. That's actually quite interesting. So if I want to take out this block, nope, I went too far. Okay, this one. Nope. Maybe right there. Yes, there we go. See, look at this. It's controllable. I'd probably say about here. And then if I go a little bit more, didn't break it. It doesn't break it all the time. That does make it a bit slower, and it generally only does 1 block at a time as well. So it's not perfect, but it is doing something without cheating. That's the important thing. Does it make any difference if I crouch or not? Yes, it does. If I crouch, will it hit the block in front? It does. And then if I stand up... Oh, no. Let's try a little bit further. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, this is kind of our reliable area. This block was pretty hard to hit, so I'm going to base it more sort of on this area here. I don't think it's going to hit all 3 blocks all the time. I think it's going to mainly just take down 1 at a time, so it's not going to be very fast. It's not going to be the quickest machine in the world, but it is going to be one without glitches, without cheating of any sort, something that we can do completely in vanilla Minecraft as it was meant to be. So I think from here, what we need to start thinking about is probably where we're going to be lining this up with. So I'm thinking probably around this one continuously getting destroyed. Sometimes it will take out ones either side, but mainly this one to be destroyed. So let's test that out and make sure it does work. In fact, let's try just adding a very simple machine to the mix. Okay, I'm thinking that's probably about the speed that we want. So we've got how many? 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks in the actual hopper clock. And that should be more than enough to actually power this whole thing. So what we need to do now is we need to have something that's going to be converting everything over. So I want to see whether or not we can just use the pistons that are waterlogged to convert it over. That would be the easiest way if it works. So let's add a bit of a surround here so that we have none of the water actually leaking out all over the place. And now what we want to do is just grab a bucket and we can waterlog the... No. Okay, so we can waterlog the pistons. Waterlog the... No. Why is this so difficult for me? What? No! No! There we go. Okay, waterlogged piston. It seems to be easier to do it without redstone dust on it. Okay, that's something that we know now. And... yeah, it still seems like it's probably going pretty fast. Let's see if it does actually have the ability to convert anything over. Yeah, it does work. It does work. That's good. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, this should convert over. Maybe we just add a little bit of water on each side. Just to make sure that it does definitely work. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best idea. You could probably use stairs or slabs or whatever you really choose. I'm just doing this because it's a little bit easier for me to do right this second. And that should be enough to convert every single block over. So if I chuck on these above here, then everything as it drops down should be converted except for that one. Righto. Well, waterlogging those pistons don't seem to actually work too well. Maybe if we put some stairs underneath it, that might be a good sort of way. Now, before we actually do this, I should probably actually test to make sure this actually does work. So if we waterlog some stairs like that and then add some concrete on top, it does nothing. Maybe I just need to slow down the clock even more. Maybe that's the problem. Let's add another 3. That looks a lot better. I'm a lot happier with that. Observer seems to be more the way to go with this. It does trigger twice, but that's fine, that's fine. It gives us a bit of a chance. So that should now mean that it should all work. Okay, except for those two, which apparently, despite being right next to waterlogged blocks, don't actually get changed over. So let's just go back to our original idea, and there we go. Okay, that finally works. We can, of course, get rid of all these waterlogged stairs underneath here because they do nothing. And if I stack these up now, this means that it should, hopefully, if I'm correct, all possibly work. Oh, it does wreck them a bit though. It does cause some issues where some do get destroyed. I think what the problem was that because it was triggering twice, it was sort of triggering while one of the blocks was actually falling down, which means that it gets destroyed. So this should work. Maybe. Maybe this will work. Nope, that doesn't work at all. Okay, so this time what we have is the observer facing in towards this comparator, and a very simple redstone line just going out to the pistons. Hopefully this is a little bit better yet again. So let's allow it to go through. Hopefully it only is triggering once though. Yes, okay, there we go. So it only triggers once now, and that should prevent all these extra blocks that are all broken and all messed up. So that should get rid of all of that issue, and all that it should mean now is... No, we just got one where it didn't work. Okay, so now it should hopefully all work. Hopefully we don't get any blocks breaking. It's only triggering once per actual clock change, which is fine. We can work with that. No, it does still have issues. That... yeah. And let's see... yeah, there we go. Okay, so the repeater set to 4 ticks. Seems like it's actually resolved that problem. And it's all working fine. Okay, so very simple sort of mechanism. We could probably have it going a bit faster, but that's okay. I'm not in any sort of rush at the moment. I just want to make sure that we're not losing any of the concrete powder and just getting it turned into its item form, because otherwise that would be a bit of an issue. But no, that's reliable. I think that's pretty reliable. So that's all working pretty well so far. So let's give this a bit of a test run and see how it does actually fare. Okay, there we go. And it reloads all before the ghast fires again, which is all that we need for it to do. We don't need it to go 100 miles an hour. We just need it to reload before the ghast actually fires again. Which it didn't do. Okay, we're going to have to increase the speed of this clock a little bit. It's a little bit slow. Okay, so yep. There we go. So I think we're up to about 8 items in the hopper. No, 7. Hey, there we go. That was a pretty good shot. We do need a collection system. Oh no, it's still too slow. Okay, so we're back to having 4 items in the clock. So hopefully this time it should be fast enough to actually fire... whoa, that was decent. I got 4 destroyed at once. Maybe needs to be 3. Okay, so that's destroyed those. I didn't realize it could destroy 4 blocks at once. Okay, well, we're going to have to make this a bit faster yet again. That's a good sign though. That's definitely a good sign. Okay, so this time we're going to give a shot with 2 items in the hopper clock, and we can turn that on. We've got the machine stacked up all the way up to 256. Of course you can build this bigger yet again by actually building it into the ground, but we're doing experimenting here, so that's the main thing. So game mode survival, and let's see how this works. Hopefully it's not too quick. No, that did seem to work pretty well. It is very quick actually. With 2 blocks, it seems to be perfect. Yeah, look at that. 2 blocks is the way to go. It's basically getting rid of them before we even have much of a chance to actually have any sort of problems. This is exactly what we want. Look at that. This thing's roaring along now. Okay, let's get a item collection system going. Now that should be a very simple collection system. You can do a better collection system yourself. I know that this isn't anything really too advanced, but we're just going to see if this is actually possible and if those minecarts are going to get destroyed, because I get the feeling that they are. I might also want to put some obsidian above them. That might be a good idea. That's seeming to be an actual fantastic idea, because if I stand over here or over here, then it'll destroy all this area, and that's not good for anyone. There we go. Okay, so now we've got the machine running. We're just taking up the very first row. The hopper minecarts are collecting it. The reason why I'm doing the first row is because it's a bit easier for me to see that minecart that's just down there, and I'll be able to see if it does get destroyed. But so far, this is looking to work pretty well. It doesn't seem to be having any problems. I might AFK in this position for a little bit and see how we do go. It's not the fastest way of doing it, obviously. Oh dear. Well, that's a serious problem. No, I'm not. Forgot I was in survival mode yet again. Okay, so as you can see, I've added a little bit more of some side catchment areas. The reason for that is mainly because, well, yeah, there was a bit of water sort of leaking away the items, so that should resolve that problem. Now we do want it to sort of be in the middle. That's kind of our aim. We don't want it to one side or the other, we want it sort of in the middle. Okay, so as you can see, basically we've lost 2 of the entire columns, which is a good sign. So if we very quickly switch back to Game Mode Creative, you can see that we have actually run out of all the concrete in 2 entire lines. That is very cool. On the downside, however, it does look like we've lost 2 of our minecarts, which, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. That's a serious problem. But look at all the concrete that we've got. We've actually got like, what, 2.5 stacks roughly? And I imagine this guy's... No, where has it all gone? I don't know where it's gone. The collection system needs some work. I'll probably work with that and maybe do an update later in the week. But as far as I can see, this plan actually seems like it's feasible. And it seems to work pretty well. I will say it does work pretty well. I'll turn this off for a moment so that we can not listen to that. So 2 was all that we needed in there, and this little simple sort of circuit. But aside from that, it does seem to work pretty well as far as being able to actually achieve this. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll hopefully have something that's a bit better for the actual setup. I did notice that it works a lot better if you're trying to shoot them at a bit of an angle instead of trying to go straight forward. So as you can see, it is a bit of an angle that the Ghast is actually shooting at, but that seems to get rid of the 4 blocks at once pretty consistently. Once you do find a good sort of spot to stand, you kind of don't want to move. That's why I didn't replace the hopper minecarts, obviously. But I hope you guys found this pretty interesting. I certainly did, and it is a very interesting concept that we could actually use Ghast to actually avoid the whole glitches and all that sort of cheaty goodness. So I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'll see ya! Bye!